What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Buggums, and today I am trying something new. I saw this and I thought it looked interesting, so I decided I'm gonna make a video on it. Trigger warning, it's pretty gruesome. I recorded a video last night of it, but the audio was terrible, so I'm redoing it. Hopefully I can post it, because I don't know why I wouldn't be able to post it, but it's got some pretty gruesome stuff in it, so I don't know, just a warning. But anyway, I apologize ahead of time for my readings. My reading skills are not great, but yeah. Oh, I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, let's get to it. Yes. What is the fear of death, really? You forget what it's like to fear the end of days. But it's not like you've lost your will to live. Wow, I'm already messing up. It's more like apathy. Apathy that led you into a pretty mediocre adult life. No legacy, no big dreams, nothing left undone. The idea that one day you'll just be gone doesn't really bother you. But it's not like you want to die. No, of course not. You're fine with how your life is, that's all. If one day, poof, you just vanished, you'd still feel at peace, because the world will keep turning anyway. You're okay with your life. Maybe it's a little bland and average, but it's yours. And you get to decide how to live it. And my voice sounds like crap today. If that means not taking everything so seriously, well, that's your call. So you spend every weekday working full-time at a video rental store. And I love movies. Main reason you took the job, it's something you actually kind of like. Sure, these days the only people who come in to these kinds of stores are nostalgia junkies and film nerds, but hey, at least you get to kill time watching all kinds of movies on the monitors during slow days. The place is colorful enough not to drag your mood down, and if you're lucky, you might even run into some interesting characters. Excuse me. You'd been staring so intently at one of the monitors playing a classic action flick that you didn't notice someone standing across the counter. You glance up at the customer. You're sitting in your designated spot. Hey, you've got rights as an employee, and flinch a little at the imposing figure in front of you. It's a tall, slim guy wearing a hoodie and a bandana covering his mouth and nose. You raise an eyebrow at his outfit. Looks like he's trying really hard not to draw attention, which somehow just makes him stand out even more. But hey, who are you to judge? I found this on the floor. He lifted a pale hand toward you. long fingers, big palm. Not that you're paid to profile people's hands or anything. He was holding an employee badge. Your employee badge. Oh. Oh, wow. You reached for your neck. Yep, your badge was definitely on. You'd arrived a few minutes late today and rushed into your uniform, probably dropped it while doing the urgent stuff. The fact that no one noticed until now says a lot about how often customers show up. Thanks so much, I didn't even notice. You mumbled the last part more to yourself than the stranger. Suddenly, he let out a soft chuckle from behind his bandana. Was he laughing at you or with you? To ease the awkwardness, you gave him a chuckle back. Do you get in trouble a lot, Buggums? You jumped a bit hearing your name, but duh, you must have read it off your badge. A stalker? Yeah, right. What a joke. There's nothing that special about you for someone to be obsessed. Still, you definitely picked up on the guy's flirty tone. Either that or you're getting fooled yourself. We gonna flirt back. Why, you gonna come save me again? Under the guy's bangs, you thought you saw his eyes light up. Might have just been your imagination. Maybe. You gave a faint smile at his vague reply. You don't usually flirt with customers, but there was something about this guy that made it feel like you were stepping into a game. You weren't sure if you wanted to play along yet, but it wasn't off the table. Name's Jeff, by the way. Huh? Felt kind of unfair that only I knew your name. Oh, right. Okay, that was awkward. Come on, Buggums. You can do better than that. Well then, Jeff, what can I help you with? Don't think you came all this way just to return lost property. Jeff leaned over the counter just enough for his eyes to peek out from under his bangs. You instinctively leaned back a little from the sudden movement, but kept your polite customer service smile. I'm still deciding if I'll grab something or not. As a salesperson, you should be trying to sell him as much as possible, but something told you Jeff was lying through his teeth. You stared at him for a few seconds in silence, watching him pretend to think. Jeff faltered a bit, his eyes finally meeting yours. You got a proper look at them. Light blue, like a sky with thin wispy clouds. You knew there were tons of shades of blue eyes, but you were pretty sure you'd never seen any this pale. Jeff stayed silent for a few seconds, recovering from the initial surprise, then tilted his head with a teasing smirk. So what if I do? That would be a shame. And couldn't you be a little more shareable? Gosh. You rested your chin on your hand, flashing a sly smile. Jeff cleared his throat behind his bandana, and you had a strong suspicion he was... What's that word? stifling a laugh. Oh, hey, at least you got a reaction. Shifting away from the personal stuff, you slip back into work mode. Want me to recommend something? That'd be nice. What kind of genres do you like? Jeff straightened up and stroked his chin thoughtfully, his voice muffled slightly by the bandana. I want you to recommend something you actually like. What are your favorite genres? Horror, of course. Oh yeah? What's your favorite subgenre? I'm gonna go with slasher. Oh, that's one of my favorites. My favorite too. That's oh my god, that one's my favorite too. I can't read. Yeah, it's awesome. It mixes tension and action in a way that's super engaging. It also gives you that intense feeling, tapping into the most primal fear, being chased. Yeah, I guess. You don't think so? No, I do. I just don't share that fear personally. I like the suspense when characters get hunted down or killed, but not because I'm afraid it might happen to me. Anyone would be scared of being chased by a killer. I know, it's just not something I relate to. Jeff muttered something, but you didn't quite catch it. Did you say something? Nothing in particular. Well, so, do you wanna... I just remembered I've got the perfect movie at home. What? I just went out to see what was at the market, but I think I've seen enough. But suddenly Jeff grabbed your hand and lifted it in a gentlemanly gesture. You were speechless, caught off guard. Thanks for the service. The words got stuck in your throat as he stepped away from the counter and headed for the exit. Be friendly. Come back again. Maybe next time we'll find something you like. Jeff turned around. Oh, Jeff didn't turn around, but waved goodbye with his hand. You stayed there for a while, trying to process what just happened. Looks like today was one of those days where you met someone eccentric, but the whole encounter left you feeling kind of weird. Was it because Jeff was covered head to toe? Something clearly suspicious, something to watch out for? Though all things considered, the conversation with him was pretty chill. You never felt in danger. Maybe he was just a weirdo, that's all. You'd rather believe that than think you ran into a fugitive on the run. But then, after thinking about the guy for a while, you realized you haven't made a single sale all day. Tough luck, Buggums. Tough luck. Yep. Oh. Your shift's over. You work full time, so you always finish at night, but it's no big deal since you live just a few blocks away. In some ways, you're kind of lucky. I need you to come in at 10 tomorrow. We've got a new shipment coming in. Cindy was your manager. Only because her dad handed the store down to her. She wasn't a bad boss, just not the warmest or most understanding. She spent most of her time held up in the back office and only came out when she randomly decided to show some interest in the job. But my shift starts at 12. I can't ask anyone else, The part-timers only come in on the weekends. Are you at least paying me overtime? I can give you a gift card. You let out a heavy sigh. Stuff like this always wrecks your day, which says a lot, considering your day was technically already over. Alright, but just know you owe me big time. At least you didn't have to close the store. This place gets creepy at night. Every place is creepy at night. And you know that because you watch a lot of movies. It's just common sense. You know what? Never mind. You grab your stuff and head for the door. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Cindy waved you off before putting her headphones in and disappearing into her music. At least she said goodbye. You took it as a sign that you exist in her world. You step outside of the store and close the door behind you, taking one last glance at the sign that says closed instead of open. It's part of the routine, saying bye to Cindy, letting her close the place up and heading home. You've been living on your own since you started working. Life as a semi-functional adult in a capitalist world is rough, but you manage. Enough. Even though the street is well lit, the air still feels heavy and a little eerie as you walk towards your apartment. It's always been like this. You've got no reason to be scared of something you've lived with every day. That's when you feel someone yank your arm to the side hard. Maybe you should have been more alert. They drag you into an alley just off the street. It's a little darker here, but a street lamp nearby lets you make out what's in front of you. The sudden movement disorients you, and you're slow to react. What the? You're cut off by a light blow to the side of your head. The person has you pinned against a brick wall behind you. From the corner of your eye, you catch a glimpse of their arm, a familiar white sleeve stretched into your blind spot. You're done playing dumb. You finally lift your head to see who's cornered you. You've got a pretty good guess. Hey again, Buggums. Uncertainty creeps in at the sight of a pale face covered in raw red sores. Ugh. Jeff had removed his hood and bandana, revealing his face. His skin was mottled. I don't know that word. With colors and textures, his nose sunken as if it wasn't even there. Those milky blue eyes sat deep in shadowed sockets, and you're sure he hasn't blinked even once. Yeah? But what really caught your eye was the scar that sliced across his mouth. It didn't look clean at all, and the way it twisted his expression made your stomach turn. You figured maybe he was hiding some facial scarring to avoid stares from people, but seeing it now, you actually feel a flicker of pity for whatever had happened to him. Jeff, what are you doing? The situation was clearly not in your favor, so your brain scrambled for a way to flip it. You know, you could have just asked me out. Jeff let out a dry chuckle. Still with the attitude, huh? He pulled out something from the pocket of his hoodie. A knife. He ran the cold blade gently along your cheek, careful not to cut. You clamped your mouth shut, fully realizing how serious this was. What's so fun about a simple date when I can watch a show right in front of me? His voice scratchy, rushed, tinged with an eerie impatience. A show? How you break under fear. He whispered, leaning in close, his breath brushing against your face. Sure, whatever you say. Jeff tilted his head. You could have swore that was his version of raising an eyebrow, if he had any. Still pretending you're not scared of dying? Hey, you're making it sound like it's a big deal. Are you insane? Says the guy with the knife. He gripped your shoulder with the same hand that pinned you, then slammed you back against the brick wall. Your head hit the rough surface, sending a sharp sting down your spine. You hiss in pain. Jeff let go and took a few steps back, like your words physically burned him. His face showed genuine surprise, more than you expected. Relax, I'm just messing with you. That wasn't funny. It was to me. Shut up, this isn't supposed to be funny. You should be scared. Jeff stepped in again, raising the knife up to your throat. By reflex, you flinch away from the blade, but the tip still pricked under your chin, drawing a sharp sting. You're in an alley, at night, with a knife at your neck. So let me ask you again. Are you scared? Stay silent. Your gaze drifted off to the side. You didn't know what to say. His face, yeah, you were scared. Dying, not really. But no answer felt certain. Nothing you could say felt true. Jeff must have seen the hesitation, and he clearly didn't like it. Jeff straightened up over you, studying you in silence. His face was strangely expressionless. You figured it was because his mouth was torn up. The way it was, he was stuck with the same twisted look forever. Suddenly, you felt a crushing grip around your neck. It was hard to breathe. Your hands flew up instinctively grabbing Jeff's arms, your body's desperate attempt to fight back. Fear me. The demand came out almost childlike, despite coming from such a menacing figure. I do. You tried to sound sincere, but it was hard with your throat being squeezed shut. But he didn't seem to believe you. I'll make you fear me. You barely caught his whisper before the pressure on your neck eased. His hand was still there, but now only pressing enough to pin you down. You cough and gasp, trying to pull the air back into your lungs. And then you noticed Jeff was over you again, knife in hand. There was a sudden sting in your cheek, sharp and brief. He made a clean cut across your left cheek. You could feel a thin trail of blood sliding down to your jaw. Aren't I beautiful? No. No, you look like you picked a fight with a deep fryer and lost. He was starting to piss you off, so you didn't hold back the jab. Maybe if he got mad, he'd finally drop the act and just end the whole damn show. Jeff stayed silent for a moment until you noticed it, a subtle stretch of his smile. He slowly leaned in towards you and licked your wounded cheek, trailing up the thin line of blood. Yeah. His breath hit your skin, warm, damp. The touch of his tongue burned in this open cut, making you hiss. You could deal with him licking you. Wow. It was just him being a freak. Yeah. But when his knees slipped between your legs, forcing them apart, something in the air shifted. Huh. Was that supposed to turn me on? Maybe if you mock him enough, he'd get bored and back off. You had to try. Jeff growled through clenched teeth, slamming you back into the brick wall. You let out a pained grunt at the impact. Why don't you fear me? It wasn't that you felt nothing. You knew this was dangerous. Your body made that clear with every pounding beat of your heart. But like it had been from the start, you just didn't feel fear. He wanted your fear like it was owed to him, but if he threatened your life and you didn't really care about dying, then what was there to be afraid of? I don't know what to tell you, Jeff. Jeff lowered his head, visibly disappointed. You glanced around, unsure of what to do. Then he straightened up again, that smile so wide now, his lips looked stretched tight. Let's play, Buggums. He raised the knife again, but this time not to stab you in a vital spot. Instead, he slowly brought the tip to your face, right to your left eye. I'm going to hunt you down. Each time I catch you, I'll hurt you. Each time you evade me, I'll back off just a bit. Jeff's eyes twitched, almost completely white, like two burning spotlights in the dark. But wait, you lost the first round, Jeff declared and pushed forward. The blade sank into the corner of your eye, right near the lid. Okay. You screamed with everything you had until your throat felt like it tore apart. Blood poured out like a tiny cascade, and your body jerked, spraying droplets. That sound. Jeff laughed, delighted by the reaction. Then he pushed the blade deeper, sinking it into the soft flesh of your eyeball. Ah! You choked on your own spit, nearly vomiting from the overwhelming pain. Your hands flailed against his chest, but he didn't budge. Jeff twisted the handle violently, the knife still lodged in your eye. Then he gave it another jerk and pulled. He yanked the eyeballs out, still tethered by its veins. What's happening? Is someone there? Like distant holy bells, you heard voices coming from nearby, but your body couldn't stand anymore. You collapsed, your left socket gushing blood. Your vision was blurred and broken. There was no trusting what you saw. You could only focus on what you could hear. Remember our game, Buggums? Jeff whispered softly. His voice drifted behind you. You felt several footsteps approaching fast, so you gave in to the exhaustion and the pain. You never felt pain like this before. Sure, you might have twisted an ankle or cut your skin before, but nothing came close to the damage done to your eye. It made you painfully aware of just how dangerous everything had been. Are you awake? The pain and exhaustion were overwhelming. You just wanted to sleep, but clearly there was no choice. You had to face the person standing in front of you. Let's save real quick. When you came to, you were lying on the hospital gurney. You could smell disinfectant and feel the weight of bandages on your face. That was kind of a relief. You were being taken care of after what was probably the worst night of your life. You noticed someone else in the room. A man in a white coat, clearly a doctor, watching you closely. Do you know where you are? A hospital? He nodded slightly and scribbled something down on the clipboard he was holding. Your voice was hoarse, your throat sore. You swallowed hard, trying to ease the pain. Do you remember your name? Yes. It's Buggums. Alright, do you know why you're here? A burned face, a maniacal laugh. Of course you knew why you were here. Someone attacked me. The doctor stepped closer and gently took your hand. You're safe here. He can't hurt you now. You stared at him, surprised by how comforting he was. Wow, pretty decent hospital service. He noticed your silence and let go of your hand, clearing his throat into his fist. Sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. Pretty sure that says Salazar, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not good with names. We're just going to assume that's what his name is. I'm Dr. Paul Salazar. Nice to meet you, Dr. Salazar. Dr. Salazar. Oh my gosh. I'd say I wish we met under better circumstances, but, well, you know. Dr. Salazar gave me a slight nod and straightened up. Let me explain your condition a bit. You've got a head injury, so we'll be monitoring you for nausea and fainting. You got a few cuts, nothing that needs stitches, but keep them clean. No touching. Of course, the moment he said that, everything started to itch. Maybe you'd sneak a scratch when he left. You were also asphyxiated, so take it easy. Don't push yourself and avoid talking too much. If you have trouble breathing or feel dizzy, let someone know right away. You nodded slightly, adjusting yourself in bed to sit up. About your eye. I'm really sorry, but we couldn't save it. Suddenly you felt cold. Your hand moved on instinct to the left side of your face, while bandages wrapped around your forehead, where the bandages were wrapped around your forehead, where your eye used to be. You'll have some trouble with depth perception, but you can still live a normal life. Eventually, you could get a prosthetic. For now, what matters most is healing properly. Dr. Salazar noticed how quiet you went and leaned in closer. Are you okay, Buckums? No, I don't have an eye. He studied your face for a moment, then placed a hand on your shoulder. If you'd like, I can call a psychologist. It might help to talk to someone. You bit your bottom lip, fighting the urge to cry. You'd been through so much, and now you'd lost a part of yourself. Maybe talking to someone really was the best idea. You nodded without saying anything. Dr. Salazar gave your shoulder a gentle squeeze before letting go. Is there someone we could call? A family member, a friend, a partner? You didn't want to admit how alone you were, but lying to your doctor didn't feel right either. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Dr. Salazar scratched his head awkwardly. Exactly why you didn't want to bring it up. There's got to be someone you're in touch with in this city, a coworker maybe? Talking about work made you think of a certain someone. What time is it, doctor? He glanced at his watch. It's 4 a.m. Why? Could you call my boss and let her know I won't go? I can give you her number. Yeah, sure. You scribbled down Cindy's number and handed it to him. Dr. Salazar explained a few more things, but only one stuck in your mind. When you're feeling better, you'll be able to talk to the police. With that, the doctor left the room, leaving you alone with your thoughts. You vaguely remembered hearing people running towards you when you passed out in the alley, probably what made Jeff run off. What mattered was that you were safe now, under supervision. There's no way Jeff could get to you in the hospital, right? It wasn't unreasonable to worry. His last words were a threat. He'd come after you. But still, you were in a hospital. A place where security actually matters. Thinking so much wore you out again, so you leaned back in bed trying to relax. Just a few minutes. You just wanted to sleep for a few minutes. A faint metallic sound rang in your ears, making you open your eye. It's going to take a while to get used to having just one, but at least you could still make out everything in front of you clearly. Oh yeah. There was a doctor standing there, back turned, busy doing something at a nearby table. For a second you thought it was Dr. Salazar, but this doctor had black hair tied back in a ponytail. Maybe he was a resident. Excuse me. The doctor flinched at your weak voice. He probably wasn't expecting you to wake up so soon. Could I have some water? He didn't answer. He stood still for a few moments. Then you heard the unmistakable sound of water being poured. Just the sound of it made your throat worse. Your sore throat was begging to be soothed. You heard a few steps as the doctor approached. You tried to sit up, but your body felt impossibly heavy. Then you felt a hand on your back, gently helping you up. The touch was soft, careful. It made you feel painfully aware of how vulnerable you were. Then the soothing rim of a paper cup pressed against your lips. You drank slowly. Your throat burned, but the coolness brought relief. One sip wasn't enough. Your mouth was completely dry, so you drank every last drop. You let out a quiet sigh when you were done, glancing sideways at the doctor who'd been helping you. His bangs hid most of his face, and he wore a disposable mask. Well, where had you seen that before? Okay, so I'm going to save here. Because the last time I put be kind and he got mad and killed me. So I'm going to see what being demanding does. How many years of med school did it take to learn that unconscious patients need water, Doc? You were playing with fire, but the whole thing felt so surreal you couldn't take it seriously anymore. The doctor said nothing. He just went back to whatever he'd been doing before. Oh, I got a point, so I guess he liked that. Now that you had some water, talking felt easier. Dr. Salazar told you not to talk too much, but honestly, you felt okay enough for a conversation, even if it was one-sided. Okay, I don't think he would like if I told what happened, so we're just gonna ask his name. What's your name, doctor? I already met Dr. Salazar. Are you his student or maybe a colleague? Oh, I'm something much better than that. The doctor came back to your side, lowering his surgical mask down to his chin. Hi, Buggums. Hi. Enjoying your little hospital stay? What a shame. I'm not really a fan of this place, but you seem to love it. You didn't get a chance to respond. Jeff had already pulled out a scalpel. Wait, Jeff, listen to me. No, there's nothing left to say. You like doctors better. No need to explain further. What? Jeff thrust his arm forward, driving the scalpel straight into your throat. You choke on on your blood, gurgling, unable to scream or even speak. I'm not as skilled as a real surgeon, Jeff whispered right into your ear while you gasped for breath, coughing up blood. But what I lack in skill, I make up for in passion. The scalpel dragged downward, slicing from your neck to your collarbone. It split your skin open like a zipper. So deep you could feel metal scraping against bone. Gosh, I bet that felt great. He laughed gleefully, delighted by the sight of you writhing in pain while blood poured from your neck, soaking the hospital gown you wore and the sheets beneath you. It hurt, but not as much as you oh my gosh. It hurt, but not as much as it should have. There was a tingling in your wounds. You are probably still on painkillers. Thank God. Sure, getting your throat slashed open with a scalpel wasn't exactly how you wanted to go, but at least you didn't have to feel it all. Feel all of it. Okay, my bad. Maybe someone would catch Jeff once they found your body. He was still standing there beside you, laughing like the lunatic he was. In the end, did he kill you just because you were kind to the doctor? Was he jealous, maybe? Nah, no way. He probably just really hates hospitals. No doctor could save you. I don't understand. I guess I need to just... I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how far this goes, so... I guess... Oh, I can't load it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Alright. I think I might make a part 2 because I want to know what happens. Unless that's just it. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.